Oh, look who it is, y'all. It is one of our favorites, the incomparable, the iconic Nathan Lane is in the building. How are you, sir?
Oh, relax. Please.
Isn't that the way to be?
I thank you very much. You're very kind. Nice to see you. I hope you're staying well and healthy.
Indeed. Okay, so
Nathan, you're a homebody, you and your husband. So is this just normal for you, or is this business as usual?
Yeah, well, pretty much. It's I mean, there is that underlying feeling of we really do have to stay in to stay healthy, but it's it's a strange and surreal time, obviously, and yet it certainly gives you time for some meditation and self-examination and all those things you may have been putting off for years. And finally you actually do have the time to do it, to pick up Moby Dick and find out why he was chasing the whale.
You might have gone Moby Dick, but I'm gonna tell you something. I went Birdcage.
Birdcage.
Oh yeah,
and
sure.
for the first
Albert.
time, very first time,
Moby Dick, Birdcage. There's an equivalency there.
Yeah. And maybe more on the other.
A lot of sexual tension on a boat. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've been in quarantine.
Exactly. Tell me. I mean, if you wouldn't mind indulging me for a little while here, I can't imagine the time spent on that set wasn't anything short of a kind of a magical time. The characters, the players just seemed like
Robin Williams.
Yes, it was all of that to be included in that party, that group of geniuses, Mike Nichols, Elaine May, Robin, of course. Originally it was supposed to be Steve Martin and Robin doing those parts. And Steve was going to play the part Robin played, and Robin was going to play the part I played. And then Steve couldn't do the movie, and then Robin decided he had already been in drag and Mrs. Doubtfire, didn't want to do it again, so he wanted to play the other part, and it opened up that role. And for some reason, Mike Nichols thought of me, and he was very inclusive. He would call me and tell me what was going on, and he said to me once, "Nathan, I only want nice people on this movie."
I love that.
Oh, well, I said, great. If you can find any nice people in show business, we're in business. And he did. He found very nice, very, very talented people. It all felt very grounded, even though it was based on a French farce. And it was a very loving atmosphere. Mike kind of created that. He sort of would fall in love with his cast. And he would sit in the video village, and he had a blanket that he would pull over his head when he would start laughing too much, and he didn't want to ruin the take, so he had this blanket he would pull over his head and then roar with laughter underneath the blanket.
What scene brought out the blanket? Because Scott and I, before you got on, we're talking about the Pierce the Toast scene, which is one of the greatest of all time. But do you have a favorite?
Well, I always laugh because they kept it in. Robin, at one point, everyone seemed to fall or slip on the kitchen floor as they were carrying buckets of shrimp and soup or whatever the hell it was. And at one point, Robin is yelling at Hank Azaria, who's sitting there crying. And he slips a little and he says, "Shut up, shut up, shut up." And because he's trying to keep from breaking up. He's trying to, and then he says, at the end, he says, "F the shrimp," and leaves. And that always makes me laugh because I can see that he's trying to hold it together.
It's one of those movies. I knew that it was a classic, you know what I mean? But now to experience it in my own way has been, what an amazing, amazing effort. It was a really, really cool thing to be able to watch.
Nathan, we love how you choose your roles. You're so versatile, of course, with Broadway. And now Penny Dreadful, City of Angels. Give us the tough cop. What drew you to this role?
Well, John Logan, the creator and writer, sent me an email. It was very simple. He sent me the script and said, I wrote this part for you and I hope you'll do it. And so it was just one of those very happy circumstances where it came out of the blue, and it was just brilliantly written, and I just felt very lucky and grateful.
Well, I'll tell you, I am a fan of Penny Dreadful. It was one of my favorite because it had all of those dark characters in one kind of telling of the story, from Frankenstein, the Wolfman, vampire, Dracula, the whole deal. When I saw your name as part of the cast, I was like, oh, who's he gonna be? And then to see you show up as the like, because you're not only the cop, you're like the, hey, you know, I almost want to say, hey boys, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, look, it's great fun to pistol whip kids and beat people up, and everything I didn't know I always wanted to do. And you can really get out a lot of anxiety in a role like this.
Wait, Nathan, before we have to let you go, saying goodbye to Pepper Saltzman on Modern Family. How was the farewell? That was a tremendous character.
Oh, thanks. Well, I sort of said goodbye the season previous because they actually thought that was going to be the last season. And then I was busy doing Penny Dreadful City of Angels, so I wasn't able to go back for the last season. But it was, that was just a tremendously funny show and great writing and a great company of actors. So I was very proud to have been a small part of it. And it's nice that people were so fond of Pepper Saltzman, who was a difficult personality to contend with. But I had a blast working with everybody there.
Well, Nathan Lane, we're some of your biggest fans. We love your work.
Okay.
Can't wait to see what you do next after Penny as well. Hopefully back to something on Broadway. Fingers crossed when everything comes back.
Yes, I hope so. Sooner rather than later. But, I think we have to be patient.
Indeed.
Well, stay safe.
Thank you.
Penny Dreadful, City of Angels, Sundays, 10 p.m. on Showtime. Thanks again, Nathan.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Take care.
Why am I clapping? See, this is what happens.
Yeah, I'll tell you why, because that was Nathan Lane. I'm so glad you finally watched the Birdcage.